Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Martin GK show. It's great to have you here with us. We are in for a bumper show this evening. Super excited. We are going to be joined by Angus Gunn of Stoke City. He is, without question, probably one of the best goalkeepers in that division. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have Angus joining me this evening. He's top quality goalkeeper. There's so much I want to talk to him about as well. So I want to quickly get through our weekly match report and see what AB1 goalkeepers are going to be up to. And then Angus will be joining us at about 7:05. So stay tuned for that. Asmir Beggar and AFC Bournemouth are back to winning ways. The Cherries ended a 4-game losing run as caretaker manager Jonathan Woodgate led his side to victory at the weekend. They beat Birmingham City. Bournemouth, they sacked their manager Jason Tindall early on last week after Tuesday night's defeat to Sheffield Wednesday. The good news is Bournemouth stay 6th in the Championship and still in those playoff places. Great news for them. Good to see them back to winning ways. My guest tonight, Angus Gunn, he was in action at the weekend as well. He was between the sticks for Stoke City and they had to settle for a point following a goalless draw at the Bet365 Stadium. They took on Reading on Saturday afternoon. The weekend was not great for Ryan Allsop though. They're having a bit of a bad run, Wycombe Wanderers. They hosted Nottingham Forest at Adams Park and they lost 3-0 unfortunately. Wycombe, they've managed just 3 wins and 18 goals in 27 league matches this season. They're currently bottom of the Championship. In League One, both Chris Maxwell and George Long, they were in action. Goals either side of half time and Ipswich Town victory over Blackpool. However, a below par Hull City, they surprisingly lost 1-0 away from home because they've been in good form this season. They were playing Burton Albion. In Scotland, Ryan Fulton and Hamilton Academials, they created the Scottish Premier League upset this weekend. 56 points has separated them and Rangers. That's a huge amount of points. But Hamilton gave as good as they got against the league leaders in Scotland. And a 94th minute goal earned Hamilton a point in their first home game against Rangers since 1954. So a great result for them. Absolutely fantastic. On Saturday afternoon, 3 goals in the first half were more than enough for James Balshaw and Harrogate Town. They beat Crawley Town 3-1 away from home. And that wraps up everything that the AB1 endorsees have been up to this weekend. It's been a packed, festive, packed calendar of football, that's for sure. Since the festive period, there's been so many games and they are coming thick and fast. And a man that's now back in action is Angus Gunn. I'm absolutely delighted that he's going to be joining me here this evening. And he's here waiting to speak to us. Just going to connect to Angus now. Angus, how you doing?
Hi Martin, you alright? Yeah, I'm good mate, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really well, thanks. Thanks for coming on this evening. We're really delighted to have you here.
No problems.
I said to you earlier, I'm a Southampton fan as well.
Yeah.
You were at our place for a while and followed your career, and I'm absolutely buzzing to have you here tonight. There's so much I want to talk to you about. So thank you. Angus, I want to go back to the very start of your career. How did it all start for you?
Well, obviously, when my dad was playing, when I was born, I think he finished the year after I was born. In about, what was it, 97, 96, something like that. So yeah, it was obviously around me all the time, and what I've been told from my mum and dad, obviously ever since I sort of could crawl and walk, I just wanted to play football with the balls in the house and just kick anything. So obviously that's where it first started. But then when I was growing up, I think I was about 3 or 4 when I started going to community events when we lived around Norwich area. So I used to play outfield when I was little back then. Sort of fell in love with sort of scoring goals originally. Sort of probably up to the age of 8, to be honest. I think I I basically got trials for Norwich as an outfielder, under nines. I think during those trials, basically one of the keepers that was there as well got injured at the time, and I ended up going in goal and doing pretty well. And they said they wanted to sign me as a keeper, and then sort of went from there really.
Yeah, you were you inspired by your dad as a goalkeeper? Your dad was a wonderful goalkeeper. Did that inspire you a bit as well, Angus?
To be honest, not really, because like I said, I was more focused on sort of scoring the goals and playing outfield at that time, and then it sort of fell into place really. I wasn't sort of looking for it, or wasn't sort of looking for inspirations or anything like that. Literally just happened. Like someone got injured, and then that was it really. I didn't really think too much about it. It was more of a natural kind of process really.
Yeah, and were you a Norwich fan growing up?
Yeah, obviously I grew up there, lived there for my whole life. So ever since I was a boy, we went to sort of every home game, sort of season ticket holders. So yeah, obviously that was a big part of my life back then, and yeah, really enjoyed it, and sort of yeah, carried that on all the way through my life really as a boyhood fan. Yeah.
Such a great club. I had a really good chat when your dad come on last year, and he spoke to me about the club. He's held in such high regard there.
Yeah.
Do you have any memories of your dad playing at all?
I don't think I'm not sure if I ever saw a live game that he played, to be honest, because I know he was coming to the end of his career, and sort of his last few years he had a few bad injuries, so I don't think that he played. But I know we moved to Scotland for a year when he signed for Hibernian, but I think he broke his leg unfortunately, and didn't end up sort of playing much. So I'm not 100% sure if I ever went to a live game, to be honest. But there was a video back in the day called Top Gun that came out, I think, after he finished, and I've watched that a few times, to be honest, and seen all of the best bits, if you like. So I've seen
Yeah.
little glimpses. Yeah.
Has he played a big part in your career?
Yeah, obviously him and my mum as well. Obviously, when you're young, you can't sort of get yourself to and from training grounds. So they used to do all that kind of thing. Come with me to training, and drop me off, pick me up, and obviously away. All our away games were, an hour, 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, they used to come to every game, and obviously, played a massive part in my growing up as a young footballer.
The position of the goalkeeper's changed so much since back then, hasn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel like that? Like your dad and his era of goalkeepers would have coped playing now, because it's changed so much, hasn't it? You've got to be so good with your feet now, haven't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I think obviously I'm not sure when the back pass rule came in, because it was a little bit before my time, but I think at the start of his career, he probably used to use that rule, and I've heard him a few stories that he used to just pick it up and half volley it up to
Yeah.
the striker. So I think it's a little bit easier back then, but yeah, from
Mm.
what I've heard, he probably would have been all right because he was all right with his feet, but yeah, I'm sure there would have been quite a few goalkeepers that might struggle a little bit more nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how much more the goalkeeper needs to be involved now. It's just so different that you've got to be good with your feet, and they get involved in the game so much more now, don't they?
Yeah, no, I think probably in the last sort of 10 to 15 years, really, and especially now in England as well, with a lot of the foreign managers coming over, it has seemed to come more into the English game as well, which I think is only positive for sort of youngsters growing up, because obviously they're starting it from a young age, which I think is very beneficial. I think back in my day at the academy, it was sort of it was there, but I think I didn't really see it fully until I went to sort of Man City when they sort of started their sort of revolution of changing the way they wanted the club run and playing the way they wanted to play. So it's
Yeah.
definitely something that clubs and academies now really focus on, and I think it's really positive for sort of English youth football, to be honest.
You brought me nicely on to Man City, actually. It was one of my next questions. You
Mm.
went to Man City at that time when the club was really starting to really motor. What was your time like there? Was it incredible?
Yeah. It was amazing, to be honest. I think the first time I sort of went up and had a look at the place, it was sort of transitioning from the old training grounds that they had, which were both split from the academy to the first team. So at that time, it was a bit difficult for the sort of academy to bridge the gap to the first team. So it was sort of a strange one for me personally, and something that obviously now they've moved into the new complex, which I was there when it happened. Is so much more easier to sort of access the youth players for the
Yeah.
second team and for the first team. If someone gets injured during training or something like that, it's so much better for that, and just the facilities there are unbelievable. So to see the sort of transition from the old training ground to the new one, and just the way the club sort of went from where it was to where it is now was really quite something special. Yeah.
Yeah, you must have played with some amazing players in your time there. Who are the best goalkeepers that you spent your time with when you were there?
There was a lot, to be honest. I think obviously when I first went in, sort of training in now and again with the first team, it was sort of Joe Hart was the number one. And then you had the likes of Pantilimon who was there as well, who was a great keeper. And then the likes of like Willie Caballero came along. And he was unbelievable, to be honest. He's a great, unbelievable goalkeeper, really good guy as well, and he helped me quite a lot. So he was there that the season that I was sort of in and around the first team every day. So yeah, he helped me a lot, and he was a really good guy. And obviously, it's great to see him, doing well at Chelsea. And then people like Bravo came in, and it was sort of a mixture of styles that I've managed to see along the way, to be honest. So it was quite a good
Yeah,
experience for me, I think. And there was sort of a few different goalkeeping coaches as well, which you learn to sort of adapt to different coaches and their styles. And yeah, no, it was. I think that kind of experience is really important for me. That at that time as a keeper, because I've got to experience so many different sort of styles and techniques that I can just sort of take little bits from everyone, really.
is there a standout coach you say you work with, someone that's left a really big impact on you as an individual?
I wouldn't say there's a standout coach, because obviously, like I said before, they're all different, and like take little bits from everyone. So I've never had a bad goalkeeping coach, to be honest, because obviously, everyone's got their own sort of styles and what they work with. So the only sort of goalkeeping coach that I've ever sort of named is Darren Lovell, because he's the one that sort of when I started at Norwich was the one that sort of changed me to a goalkeeper
Yeah,
at the very start. So he's the only one that I sort of normally name, to be honest. And after that, I think I've just been really privileged to work with everyone, to be honest, and I've really enjoyed it, and got a good relationship with all of them.
yeah. I was gonna say you must have worked with so many, and obviously you were involved in the international setup as well, weren't you? Weren't you as well? Can you tell us about your time with under 23s? Obviously, played for those, and you played in the. You went to some tournaments as well, didn't you?
Yeah, no, it was. I had a really positive sort of England youth career, to be honest, and it was good experiences again. I think I managed to play at sort of every youth age group. The only thing that I was disappointed I didn't never played at like a major tournament. So a few times we didn't manage to qualify for the tournaments, and
Mm.
I went to a couple of under 21 championships and never played. Although it was a great experience to be there and watch the games. I think you never fully get the experience unless you're playing. So that was the only thing that I never managed to do. But yeah, it was a great time in my sort of development, going away with England.
Yeah.
Sort of playing with unbelievable players from all the different clubs, and just learning how to be away. To be honest, from a young age, because so when you're growing up at academies, even from under 18 level, you don't really get that experience of going away for long periods of time and being away from home. And I think that set me in good stead for sort of football nowadays. And yeah, really enjoyed every moment of it, really.
I guess you spend so much time away from home now, don't you? You must be travelling. There's 2 games a week pretty much in the Championship, so you must travel a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the moment with the pandemic, it's a little bit different, and I think it probably depends on what kind of club you're at as well, because obviously Stoke's quite central to in the country, so the journeys aren't too bad, to be honest. When I was at Norwich and
Yeah,
Southampton, most of the journeys are quite long, so you had to travel the night
yeah.
before. But yeah, I think that in the Championship there's quite a lot of teams around us, so I've not honestly noticed it too much this year. Obviously, I've been out with the injury and stuff like that, so I've been at home quite a lot. But yeah, no, it's just part and parcel of it really, and you do get used to it, and you sort of just get used to sort of literally sitting in a room and watching Netflix or something like that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty normal for me nowadays.
I guess that's something I never really ask goalkeepers when they come on. Do you have any interest away from football?
Not really, to be honest. No. Other than sort of getting home and sticking the TV on, and I've got two little dogs that obviously take out, and just had a little girl as well. So she's 5 months now.
Congratulations.
So yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
So yeah, that's quite a big time for her, to be honest. I never realised
Yeah.
before it happened, but yeah, that's quite a big time for her. And basically, me and Phoebe, my partner, just spend all our time just sort of looking after her, to be honest, and seeing her grow. So it's been quite a good few months, to be fair. Yeah,
Are you enjoying being a dad?
yeah, really enjoying it. It's been unbelievable, and yeah, definitely changed my life for the better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously it's not something you don't can't really prepare for, but I
No.
feel really, really comfortable with it, and yeah, really enjoying it.
And you've come back. You obviously you're out for a period of time with injury. And you've come back and you've literally hit the ground running rapidly quick. You look in really good form, Angus.
Yeah, I think like at the time I got the injury, it was so frustrating because I only just got in the team at that point, and then we had an international break, and during that break, that's when I got the injury. So it was really frustrating, and I missed like the busy Christmas period as well, which is something that I really enjoyed when I was at Norwich playing in the Championship.
Mm.
And obviously, getting that many games back to back, I think for me personally, really benefited me sort of getting that sort of consistency. And yeah, it was just a frustrating time, but I managed to turn it into sort of a positive, and made sure I got my head down in the gym and doing all my recovery stuff, and basically just making myself sort of physically better really. And I've definitely done that, and I think now I'm sort of getting the benefits from that now while I'm actually fully fit.
Yeah, you look in great shape. You said you spend a fair bit of time in the gym. Are you in there every day?
Obviously, when I was injured, yeah, I was literally sort of just absolutely smashing it, to be honest, because at the early part of it, wasn't really able to put any sort of weight on my through my ankle, so had to just sort of focus on other things. And yeah, as a goalkeeper, you've obviously got sort of you're getting bumps and bruises, shoulder injuries
Yeah.
I've had in the past. So I managed to sort of get on top of those kind of things, and yeah, just making myself a lot stronger in that area. And I definitely feel really good for it, anyways.
Yeah, but it's going to pay dividends for you now. We've got loads of Norwich fans coming on, by the way. There's so many Norwich fans. Some nice comments. I just want to touch a little bit on Norwich. You went back there. You went out on loan from Man City back to Norwich, didn't you, for a while?
Yeah, yeah, no,
What
that
was it like?
was that.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good. I think it was one of those that was my first sort of loan move as a sort of younger player. It seems like yesterday, but I think it was about 4 years ago now.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was sort of a surreal experience, to be honest. Obviously, like I said before, growing up as a Norwich fan, and going to Carrow Road every week as a season ticket holder, and then ending up sort of playing there every week was a really good experience. And I think I kind of had to put that a little bit to the side because obviously I had the job to do and focus on
yeah.
playing the games and getting better. But yeah, it was a really good season for me, and it literally flew by. So they always say that the time flies when you're having fun. So I think that was a really good point in my career, and definitely one that's set me in good stead for where I am now.
We've got lots of Stoke fans joining us as well. I'm just looking at my laptop. I'm going to read you one of the messages we have come through. It says, my little boy is a massive Stoke City fan and he cannot wait to see you live. He's loved your saves at Watford and Huddersfield. How good is it going to be when the fans come back? Because you haven't had the opportunity to play in front of the Stoke fans yet, have you?
Yeah, I know. I was saying to you before, it's so weird, obviously joining the club in this pandemic and never actually, being able to sort of meet or play in front of any of the fans. It's frustrating, but obviously, at this time, it's something that we've got to do, and we'd all much rather be playing football in front of no one than not playing at all. So, I think hopefully after all of this is finished and all the fans are back in the stadiums, I literally can't wait, because I think the atmospheres in the stadiums is something that I really thrive off, and even going to the away grounds, I really like the sort of hostile atmospheres as well. So I really just can't wait to be getting heckled from behind the goal, to be honest.
Where's your favourite ground you've been to in your whole career?
I don't know. It's a hard one to say. In terms of sort of like stadium wise, obviously I played at the new Tottenham Stadium, so that was like, the stadium's unbelievable. But I don't know. I'd have to say Portman Road, because that was going away to sort of local rivals and beating them was sort of probably one of the best experiences when I was at Norwich. So it's probably got to be there, to be honest.
Yeah, the Norwich fans are going to love it. There's so many of them. They're joining us. What's your favourite save you made? You got a particular save that stands out for you? You probably made thousands, but is there a particular moment in a game somewhere you think, oh my God, that was my best moment?
I think it probably would have been at Watford this season if the referee didn't get it wrong and give a goal. But yeah, off the top of my head, I feel like that when I was at Norwich, there was one against Bristol City away, and the ball sort of bounced 6 yards out, and I managed to sort of like scramble and save. But that was probably more because it was like last minute, and it was a 1-0 win. So I think like those kind of things, you remember them more if you win, and you sort of contribute to the team. So I don't really think about the saves when we've not won the game. So that's the only reason why that one sticks out, to be honest.
No, thank you. I'm going to grab some top tips off you before you go, if that's okay. We get loads of young goalkeepers on there. They're always looking for top tips. What's your top tips of pre-match preparation? Is there anything in particular you do? I had Tom Heaton come on the show before Christmas, and he was very regimented on how he went about his pre-match preparation, from gloves to the time he spent to what he ate to how he slept. Are you pretty thorough with what you do pre-match?
I'm not. I say no, but I probably am. Yeah. I have kind of things that I like to do the day before a game, but it's kind of different from when we're at home to when we're away. Because obviously, when you're away, you're in a hotel, and it's a little bit different. But yeah, the only thing I normally like to do before a game is have a nice hot bath the night before and just sort of chill out, really. So yeah, recently I've sort of been getting more into sort of meditation and stuff like that as well. So that's quite helped me, to be honest. Like stay nice and relaxed and chilled out. And I find it helps sort of during the games as well, sort of stay focused and sort of just stay in the zone whilst sort of the chaos is going on around you. So nothing really in particular. Not really any crazy superstitions. Just sort of staying focused, really, and having a nice warm bath.
It's working. Yeah, it's working. Whatever you're doing, it's working. There's a question just come in, actually, and it's a question that was on my list. Have you got any advice for young goalkeepers at grassroots?
Yeah, I think the only kind of advice that I'd give is sort of keep sort of enjoying your football, really, because I think obviously grassroots level is a little bit different to academy level. You're not sort of training every day, and you don't have that sort of pressure on you. So I think you just got to enjoy yourself, to be honest, and just sort of, you know, take it in your stride and not think too much about sort of what's ahead of you. Just sort of focus and just enjoy yourself. Because obviously I've gone through the whole process of academy and working that way up, and like it was quite tough, to be honest. Like at stages, because obviously there's pressures on you, and you know it sort of takes its toll sometimes. So the only advice I can give is just sort of not think too much and just literally enjoy yourself. And you know, if you keep sort of working hard and enjoying yourself, then things will come. Yeah.
I guess when you have those low moments, it's a case of really bouncing back. Is there any sort of particular moments in your career where you've just had to bounce back, where you've had a real like, oh, I just need to pick myself up and go again?
Yeah. Obviously, there's been quite a few low moments. Obviously, losing 9-0 was a bad point, and you know, that's when you sort of need the people around you, and
you're not the only Southampton goalkeeper to lose by 9 either, by the way.
No. But that's when you need the people around you, and obviously that's when you like the support of like your coaches and stuff like that, to sort of back you up. And I just sort of, after that kind of happened, I just sort of went away and just sort of basically just tried to better myself mentally, and I think I did that. Obviously it was a slow process, and obviously sometimes you change your things as well. So that was the kind of thinking behind coming to Stoke and getting, you know, a good sort of club behind you and a good sort of you know, coaching staff and fan base, and obviously hopefully just playing games regularly can sort of help get back into sort of stride of things, really.
Yeah, and it's such a busy season, such a tough schedule, isn't it? The Championship is so competitive. It's going to be a long few months yet, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think obviously I was out for quite a while, like 3 months, and you know, I was sort of looking at it and thinking, oh, I'm missing so many games here. But you know, now I'm back, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know, we've still got a lot to play for, and you know, so many games. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the end of the season, and you know, we're in a decent position as well. So I think you know, hopefully we can sort of pick a few wins up in the next few games, and you know, hopefully we can be that team that can sort of go on that sort of later run and get into that playoff mix, I think.
Yeah, get back to the Premier League. There's loads of Saints fans coming on. They think a lot of you down at Southampton. I know a lot of Southampton fans. They're all coming on with, "We want you back. They want you back." So that's some nice comments there, Angus.
Yeah.
Another top tip I want to grab off you before you go is one I always like to ask keepers. Is there any gloves superstitions that you have? Anything you like to do with your gloves pre-match? Is it a new pair every game, or do you like to wear them for a couple of training sessions? Or
yes, it's a weird one, really. I've not really got something that I always do. It's more like sort of off the cuff. So generally, I might wear a pair of gloves sort of once in training and then use them for a game, and then I sort of take it how it comes, really. If I have a clean sheet, then I like to sort of keep the same pair of gloves for the next game, and just keep them ready for the next game. Just not wear them until the game, and yes, just sort of off the cuff. To be honest, there's not really anything that I always do, but obviously I'm wearing the AB gloves at the moment, so you know, really enjoying them, and you know, they're doing me really well at the moment. So yeah.
Awesome. The kit, the combination between the kit and the gloves looks so good, by the way. It's so striking.
Yeah.
It stands out, certainly on TV, but when I saw some imagery earlier, it looks amazing.
Yeah, no, it's not. Obviously, that glove was obviously made before I moved to Stoke, so it's not even intended with the sort of same colours, and they sort of go with everything, to be honest. And you know, they look so cool on as well. So I think you know, the guys who designed them done a very good job. Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to say a massive thank you as well. Angus sent all his gloves from last season. You sent them all back to the glove bank. Well, one of you did. Thank you for that, because they've gone to a great cause. We're in the process of sending all the used gloves out to Kenya. There's some foundations there, some academies. They're going to get use out of those. So a massive thank you for doing that. It's really kind.
Yeah, no, to be fair, like professionals like us, we get a lot of stuff, and we use it all, and then sort of, you know, generally sort of try and give it all to charity, but then sort of, you know, just try and pick anything up anywhere, and you know, obviously get it over to whoever can sort of get the use of it, really. So I think it was a really good sort of project that you guys went with as well. So yeah, no, anything that we could do to help, yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to keep pushing it. We had more bits in the door today. So constantly, every day we're getting gloves back from people. So one load's gone off, and we're going to start building the next load, and we're going to go again. So it's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Awesome.
Love it.
Angus, thank you so much for coming on this evening. It's been a great insight into your football career, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
No worries. Nice one. Thank you very much for having me.
Go and enjoy your little one, and yeah. Good luck. When's your next game? When do you play next?
We've got Norwich away on Saturday, so that'll be a good one. Yeah, yeah.
Well, good luck for Saturday. I hope it goes well. And
thank you very much.
Fingers crossed you get promotion.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Thank you, Angus.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Cheers,
Top man. Thank you.
See you in a bit. Bye.
Cheers. Wow, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed that. And an absolute gentleman to bring on the show tonight. Angus Gunn, everybody. That was a brilliant insight into the life of a professional player. Make sure you take a look. Angus is in really good form for them. For any young goalkeepers looking to watch a top quality goalkeeper, Angus is one to be watching. If you've missed some of the show, you've joined us late on, there will be a rerun here on Instagram on the little TV, so you can hit our page, little TV, and you'll better watch a rerun of this whole interview. That was awesome. We're going to struggle to beat that one for a while, that's for sure. Hope you can join me again next week. I'll be here again 7 p.m. Got some product questions. Massive apologies I've not had a chance to get to them. I've got 2 or 3 product questions that are coming over the last couple of weeks on emails and stuff. And I'm going to make sure I get those questions out, get those answers to you next week. So if you have any questions, send them in and I will answer them next week.